Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a new knife that I've been checking out for a couple of days now. I actually saw this knife while I was at Blade Show earlier this month, and I wasn't able to pick it up while I was there, but I was always kind of had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to go ahead and check it out, primarily because it was a really cool design. It was also a new company that I had never checked out before, but I started seeing some reviews and some folks were calling it the Mini Bugout killer, and I wanted to get it in hand to see if that was the case. So I've only had it for a couple of days now. I've been EDCing it. I have a mini bug out. I have a couple of mini bug outs, and I love those. They're very lightweight, very easy to carry and stuff like that. So I wanted to see if this was indeed the mini bug out killer. So as you can see by the title, obviously this is the Mini Nightshade from Vosteed. And this is the box right here. Again, this is my first knife from Vosteed. I've got a couple other models on my Amazon cart. I actually ordered this through Amazon. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link below to where I picked it up on Amazon. You guys can check it out for yourself. But this is my first one from them. And as far as the company goes and the construction, all that, it is great. As I said, I did see their booth while I was at Blade Show, and I saw some of their other knives and the different availabilities and things like that. So, I was pretty happy when I went ahead and picked this guy up and when it came in. So again, it comes in this box right here. Inside of the box, you're going to have a couple different things, which I was pretty surprised. You'll have this little card here, which gives you some information on how to maintain your knives and stuff like that. They also threw in this really awesome patch, which is really cool. So Vosteed is the name right there. Then you do have this, it's kind of like a horse symbol on there. So I love the fact that they threw that in. You have a couple of spare springs for the locking mechanism, which is really nice. You don't normally see that. And then you have this sticker, which does say Nightshade. And I don't know if this is specific to the knife itself, if every one of their knives comes with a sticker like this with the name of the knife, but I thought that was really, really awesome. The word Nightshade is actually written over the silhouette of the knife. At first I didn't see that, but then after looking at it closer, I could see that, and then you have the buildings and the skyline in the back. So that was really, really awesome. And then you have a little kind of cleaning cloth that you can go ahead and use to maintain your knife. And then the knife itself is inside of this little bag here. And then check out this, the inside here, the foam, the way that it's cut out. I think it's done that way to be able to reuse with a couple, maybe some of the other styles. At least that's what I would think. But that was pretty interesting. I'd never seen that before. So it comes in this little bag here. I repackaged everything just so you guys can kind of see. So there is going to be a little bit of oil on this because it did come from with some oil, as you know the knife should, to be able to keep it nice and clean and oiled up basically. So here it is. Again, this is the Mini Nightshade. Now, this model is actually available in two different options. It's going to be the black coloring here, but the different options is going to be your thumb studs and back spacers. So this one is with the red thumb stud and back spacer, and you do have one that comes with, I believe, gray or black thumb studs and back spacer. It's still going to be the black body on the knife itself. So, just to make sure that I kind of went through everything in case you guys are interested in finding out information about this knife before you order it, I do have their website kind of pulled up. And I'll just be kind of going through the description just to make sure that I hit everything that's on there. So you do have dual thumb studs right here. Taking a look at it, it's a nice contoured handle on the knife. Again, very, very small, as you guys can see right there. And you do have your nice deep right clip on the other side. It does come set up for tip up right-hand carry, but you can go ahead and reverse the clip and do left-hand carry as well. You have a nice sizable lanyard hole. This is a small little guy, so if you wanted to throw a lanyard to make it a little bit more comfortable when you have it in your hand, you can go ahead and do that. And then you have this really nice aluminum back spacer on here, which is red. I love the contrast of black and red. You do have some styling on the back spacer there, which makes it look really, really nice. So I'll go ahead and deploy the blade so you guys can see that. Very, very easy to flick that blade wide open there with your thumb if you wanted to do that. So we're going to go ahead and go through some of the specifications. The overall length on the knife is 6.31 inches. So very, very small, very tiny little knife here. The blade length is 2.6 inches. So again, right over 2.5 inches, which is more than enough that you would need for a majority of light to medium, I would say, EDC tasks. As far as the blade material, you have a Sandvik 14C28N blade. So again, it's a nice everyday steel, very easy to sharpen. It holds a decent edge. As far as markings on the blade, you do have the company logo right there, so Vosteed. And then on the other side, you have the name of the knife, which is the Mini Nightshade, and then 14C28N, which is your blade steel. I like when companies actually include a lot of information on there because, you know, with so many knives out in the market and, you know, folks owning a lot of different knives, it sometimes gets a little difficult to remember which are which. As far as the blade style, this is called a Schillen cutter. This is actually my first foray on this type of blade, but you do have this really, really nice angle. It is a very wide blade, but it is razor sharp. I like that the spine of the blade is also rounded, which kind of goes with the aesthetics of this knife. You know, it's a nice little everyday carry knife, so you know you want to make sure that you don't have any sharp angles or anything like that. Obviously, it's a full flat ground blade, and it is stone washed as well, so you know it's not going to be very shiny or anything like that, and it is a plain edge. So this blade itself does not come in different blade styles as far as that goes, at least right now. The handle length is 3.71 inches. So again, I get a full 4-finger purchase on this. But as I mentioned, you do have that lanyard hole in the back there. So if you wanted to throw a lanyard, I would probably put like a black lanyard with a red bead on it, or maybe a red lanyard, you know, red paracord with a black bead on it to kind of go with this whole aesthetic. And if you wanted to kind of choke back on you know, on the blade here or pull back on it, you'll have a little bit more to grip onto it. But if you do choke up on the blade, there is no jimping on the blade itself, just a little bit of jimping right above the locking mechanism there. So, you know, it's just something to note. You want to make sure that you get a good grip on the knife itself. Again, this is a black G10, which is the 2 color options are both going to be with the black G10. And then you have the aluminum back spacer right there, which is really nice. Now you do have a stainless steel frame or liners inside of here, but they're very, very lightweight. I mean, this knife is so light. As I mentioned already, it's coming in at, what was the weight on this? I don't know. I don't think I've mentioned the weight just yet. 1.78 ounces. So again, under 2 ounces. It is so light. You barely feel this when you have it in your pocket as you're carrying it, thanks to that deep right pocket clip right there. And again, it deploys very, very nicely. The locking type, getting back to that, this is the crossbar lock. So again, it's very sturdy. Lockup is nice and tight, no blade play whatsoever. Super fidgety. You can go ahead and grab that lock on both sides and you know, go ahead and close it. But if you wanted to use it to open the blade, you can go ahead and do that as well. So again, because of the size of this, you know, it takes a little bit of practice to if you wanted to use the lock to keep it open or to close it and for it to close all the way. But again, it's super fidgety and it's very easy to get to do it. So obviously this knife is geared for EDC purposes. I would say light to medium EDC task, meaning opening up boxes, mail, cutting stuff. You can use it for food prep as well, thanks to the wide stance of this blade. You know, you can easily chop some stuff. But again, because of the angle, it's going to be very difficult to get all the way down without having to adjust your grip. So if you were using it for food prep, I would probably hold it on the side like this, just so I can get all the way down to be able to chop, you know, let's say if you're chopping vegetables or something like that, to be able to do that. Now, what I wanted to see, and maybe what some of you folks want to see as well, is this the Mini Bugout killer? Is this the knife to replace the Mini Bugout? So I have one of my Mini Bugouts here. It just so happens to be in the black handle color as well, with the black blade. As you guys can see, it is very, very similar as far as size goes, as far as the thickness and everything. It is almost a 1-to-1 match. Obviously, the Bugout does not have a spacer in the back, and then you do have your lanyard hole kind of built into it. They deploy very similarly. The Bugout has a more audible kind of thud to it, but I don't know if that's because I've just had it longer and kind of broken it in a little bit more. But as you see right here, very similar blades length. So if I angle it this way, obviously you can see that. The blade on the Mini Nightshade is a lot wider. So again, you know, it's just the way that it was designed, versus the Mini Bugout blade does come to a very acute tip, so really good for piercing. Now obviously you're going to get better steel, and better I mean, you know, upgraded steel. This is S30V on the Bugout, but the upgrade steel also comes with an upgrade in price. So I don't know if I would say that the Mini Nightshade is the Bugout killer. It just depends on the use, what you're going to be using it for. Now, if you want a knife that shares a lot of attributes as far as the locking mechanism, the size, deployment, carry, and stuff like that, as the Mini Bugout, then the Nightshade is obviously going to be, you know, your best option. I mean, this is a sub $60 knife. I think I paid $59.99 for it, if I'm not mistaken, on Amazon, versus the Mini Bugout. I don't think you would be able to find one for less than $100. Just depends on where you look for it. Again, new out of the box. But you're paying the extra price for the upgrade steel. Obviously, the name, this is a Benchmade, as opposed to Vosteed, which is new to the knife world, as far as I know. But again, you know, they're for, you know, something, a fraction of the price, but very, very similar in price and very similar in look and performance. You really can't go wrong with the Mini Nightshade. Is it going to dethrone the Mini Bugout? I don't think it is. But if you're looking for something and you just don't want to pay the Benchmade prices, then the Mini Nightshade from Vosteed would be that option for you. So I hope that kind of answers some of the questions. If you were looking at this knife, and if you don't have a Mini Bugout and, you know, wanted to get one or the other, if you've never had a Benchmade, I would say go for the Mini Bugout. You know, you want to make sure that you experience that. If you've had Benchmates before, maybe you have a full-size Bugout and you wanted to go to a Mini, I would say take a look at the Mini Nightshade from Vosteed. I don't think you're going to be upset with what you get out of it. The only difference would be obviously that blade steel. So if you want something with a little bit more premium blade, then obviously, or blade steel, then obviously the Mini Bugout is the way to go. If you don't care about it and it's going to be something that you can sharpen up and, you know, touch up and stuff like that, then the 14C28N is good enough for whatever task you're going to be using a small little knife for. So there it is. That is just a look at the Mini Nightshade, what people are calling the Mini Bugout Killer from Vosteed. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.